Hey everyone, this is Rich, Plant-Based Coaches Podcast, joined here today with Dr. Suzanne Foxx.
Hey everybody.
We're hoping everybody will subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of great guests, including our guest today, David Atkins. He's the
Hello.
author of One Decision Away. It's awesome. I haven't gotten through the whole book, but I can't wait to. If you're looking to achieve goals, this is the book to read, definitely. So David, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Oh, absolutely. So it's a loaded question because I have I have a lot to share. But so I'm a
Sure.
retired New York State police captain. I was a New York State trooper for 22 years. I was a first responder on 9/11 at Ground Zero for many weeks. I had an amazing career with the New York State Police for 22 years. But parallel to that, the last um, 10 years of my career, I built a large health and wellness business, $1 million business with a health and wellness company you guys probably have heard of called Beachbody. They have the
Yeah.
fitness programs P90X. And it started off as just, I wanted to get in shape, had no idea that there was a business opportunity, and I was in debt, which is part of my story. And it really changed my life. And then I like to say, just as a man of faith, that God revealed to me a gift I didn't know I had at the time because Beachbody started asking me to share my story of like, David, you're married, you have three daughters, you built this business, you paid off this six figures, and you run an entire county with the state police. Like, how'd you do it? So I started sharing at their quarterly events, which originally was in a small library of 15 people. Then the invite was to a 100-person event, then 1,000. Then I'm speaking to 20,000 in the NFL Superdome. And that's when I had executives in my ear. Yeah. They were like, David, you have a gift to speak and inspire, like natural. Have you ever thought of being like a keynote motivational speaker? I'm like, a speaker? I have three daughters. I have this business. I run an entire county with the New York State Police. Like, no, like how would I even do that? But in 2021, I did take the leap of faith. I like to say I fueled my faith and starved my fears, and retired after a great career. And now the last couple of years, 4 years, I've been traveling around the country speaking to thousands of people, Fortune 500 companies, sharing my message. I had my first book, The Leveled Up Life, that was published a couple of years ago. And then fast forward, here I am today, with the one decision away philosophy that's just been a game changer for me, a message to share. Couldn't believe it hit number one bestseller in the
That's
first
so
day.
cool.
Yes, thank you so much. And here I am. So I know that was a loaded answer
I
response, but
appreciate
hopefully
that.
Richard and Doc, it makes sense. We can dive
Yeah,
into more.
Yeah, now
it's amazing.
Robert Cheek, he's a good friend of mine. He
Yeah,
uh he helped you with this book. Can you tell us how you met?
absolutely. Absolutely. So I met Robert. So a mutual friend of ours, Joe Gagnon, who's actually publishing a book next Monday,
Yeah, he's gonna be
Intentional
on our
Living.
podcast next week. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Joe,
That's
so
awesome.
Joe and I actually like just it's part of like my whole one decision thought. I was out for a run, finished a run, was in this dirt parking lot and not knowing Joe at the
Mhm.
time. Joe pulls in and he has a Tesla at the time, and I've had some interest in getting an electric car. And I just kind of
Yeah.
said, "Hey, how do you like your Tesla?" And Joe and I started talking, and we hit it off. He's a huge ultra marathoner. He got me to do my first ultra marathon last
Ah,
year,
Nice.
nice.
and Joe and I became good friends. He's like a mentor, a friend. We help each other in the business world and health world. And then I was telling him about my book, and I said, "Listen, this book, my approach, just with the message, I really want to, I want to reach more people." And he's just said, "Hey, I have this guy named Robert I'm friends with. You should
Mhm.
connect with him." So I connected with Robert, and Robert was amazing, helped coach me for the marketing and launch of this current book, The One Decision Away. And now Robert and
Very
I are
cool.
friends. But, yeah, here we are.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a genius at marketing. I know he
Yeah.
does a great
yeah.
job.
He's really good at that. Very, very
Very, very,
good.
very, very, very good. He tells you you got to still do the work, but he will set you up with the
Yeah,
plan. So that's
Yeah.
that's kind of how Robert and I connected through Joe.
Yeah.
that's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about your book because I see myself in a lot of the motivation of, what led me to lose weight.
Mhm.
Just a little background for you. I lost 150 pounds,
I
actually
saw that.
150.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was over 13 years ago, and I noticed a lot of the motivation I see myself in what you're talking about. Um, with the way you set your goals. And I'd like to hear more about it. Just for our audience too, because we coach a lot of people, and
Yeah.
some people you can't reach because I don't think they understand about goals. And
Right.
so you
Yeah.
can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the one decision away philosophy, I define it as it's a choice made in the present moment, backed by courage and faith to move you one step closer to your goals. And I highlight courage and faith because, we all have fears every single day of our life. We all, whether it's fear of failure, fear of success. And I like to say all we need is a little bit of courage to move us forward. And then I kind of highlight faith because faith is the belief in things we cannot see. And so often in life, we want to see what to do next, but we have to go on faith to things we cannot see. And for me, I'm a big believer, no matter what trials and tribulations you've been through, no matter what, struggles you've been into up into this point, we're all only one decision away for a completely different life. And it's different for everybody. For some, it may be the one decision to improve their health, like you did. For others, it's the one decision, to go after that second career or go for that promotion, or maybe the one decision to write that book. And I always say, in your heart, there's something that's pressing that you need to make, the one decision you need to make today. And I personally share in my book, like, it's been the trajectory of my life. Like, before I started Beachbody, and I'll share with you guys, and this is kind of how it came to be, is that, I was about 20 pounds heavier myself. I had, as I called, the dad bod with kids, working overnight shifts with the state police. My wife and I were living paycheck to paycheck, 6 figures in debt, arguing over things like the grocery bills. And I remember just saying, life can't go on like this anymore. And it was, I said, I drew a line in the sand, and this was like a pivotal point in my life, in our marriage, saying I needed to talk to my wife. I need to sit down and say, like, we can't go on like this anymore. Not that we were at the point of divorce, but if we did not fix what we were doing, our debt, bickering over the grocery bills, like, this is not a good path to be on. And I had all that fear to talk to her. What if she doesn't accept me? What if she thinks I'm wrong? What if she thinks this is normal to have all this debt and the way we are? But I made that decision, that one decision, not when my kids were running around in the kitchen at the 7 o'clock crazy dinner and bath time hour, but like 9 o'clock at night. I remember sitting her down, looking her in the eye, and we're just like, babe, we can't go on like this anymore. Like, we need to change. And that one decision, she's like, all right, let's start. And we started with our physical health, and we did P90X because it worked to do an at-home workout program, and we did P90X. And that one decision to do P90X, then that led us to a business that we didn't know existed with Beachbody, which was a direct sales, multi-level marketing business. That, again, everybody said it's a pyramid scheme. You're wasting your time. Network marketing doesn't work. All the hate and negativity. But I had that vision, like, well, what if this is the answer? What if I see people succeeding? We can do it. We're in debt. So I had that vision, and then I made the one decision to do that. And then that one decision revealed, as I said, like, the gift that God revealed to me, because they started asking me to speak. And then that one decision led to me being a speaker. And my point is this: I wouldn't be on this podcast today if I didn't make the one decision to talk to my wife. And that's what I say. So often in life, we worry about what we need to do 3 weeks, 3 years, 3 months from now, but life will reveal to you what you need to do next if you can make that one decision of what you need to do in your life right now. So, like, it came to be. I was on stage speaking to about 300 to 400 property managers at their annual conference last spring. And on stage, like, I'm a very passionate speaker. You may sense a little bit here. And I would say, stop overcomplicating. There's one decision you need to make in your life right now. And in my book signing line for my first book, people were saying to me, David, I got to make the one decision. I got it. I have to make the one decision. And I had a little light bulb moment. And then a couple weeks later, I spoke at another event, and I kind of passionately started saying the same thing again, because my keynote title used to be No Excuses. And I still live by that. Don't make excuses. But I started driving home this point of just make the one decision today. Don't worry about what's next. And in the book signing line, again, people were like, I have to make the one decision. And that's when I had the epiphany light bulb moment. Like, that's been the trajectory of my life. Whether you believe in God, faith, the universe, whatever it is, life will reveal to you what you need to do next, so that you need to make the one decision with what's in front of you today. So that's kind of how it came to be from my audience, picking up what I was saying. than me realizing like, wow, that's kind of been my life trajectory. And wow, if people applied it to their life, they wouldn't be stuck in procrastinating. They'd actually move forward. Does that make sense?
That
It
makes
does.
such good sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be very, very tough when people just get so mired down in the details of it and they just
Yes.
think it's too hard. They
Yes.
think it's too hard.
Exactly.
Yes. And it's funny because when I started writing the book and I thought of exactly that, I had like this brainstorming session where I said, okay, I have this one decision away, like message that's transformational, I believe, if people apply it. So I started brain dumping like all of the thoughts that applied to it. And then I looked at it and I said, wow, like these look like these could be the chapters of the book. And then when I looked at them, I noticed there was two distinct parts. These are the obstacles that you will face when you need to make an important decision, whether it's fear, whether it's procrastination, whether it's comparison to others, right? And then the other things I wrote down were like, but these are the tools that you can help to make that one decision to help you move forward, whether it's having a vision for your life, talking about vision and goals, whether it's having a why, having a driving force for something bigger than you. And I realized like, wow, I have two distinct parts. I have the obstacles you will face and I will have the tools to help you. And then I'm like, wow, this book has two distinct sections, and then I did some research and found people like Michael Jordan when he got cut from his varsity basketball team, or J.K. Rowling writing Harry Potter books with all of the people that said no, but she had a bigger vision and just kept making that decision to keep writing. And eventually it came to be, right? And so I also had the research in there, people that applied it to their life. And that's why when I wrote this book, I really felt like, wow, this is powerful, because I'm telling people it's okay if you feel lonely along the way. That's normal. It's okay if you have these struggles. These are what to expect. But now here's the solutions. And oh, by the way, here are many other people that have went through it. And then I even brought in like brain science, like, and I'll even ask you guys, you ever have like, they say the number one source of fulfillment is progress. It was a study Tony Robbins did. Have you ever heard of that before? The number one source of fulfillment is progress.
That's good though. Yeah.
It's true. And I give this example when I speak on stage. I said, how many, by a show of hands, like you have a to-do list of errands you need to do on a Saturday? It could be even little things, but as you start doing those things and crossing them off the list, you have a sense of feeling of accomplishment and everybody's hands go up, right? Yeah. And I say that's because the ventral tegmental area, the VTA part of your brain, is responsible for releasing those feel-good chemicals, the dopamine that you get after exercise, right? And it's the same with when you just do tasks and you make decisions to do things, you create momentum. And I say so often in life, we wait for the motivation to start, but it's backwards. You need to start and then the motivation kicks in and your brain actually helps you because it's releasing dopamine because you're crossing things off your list. So don't worry. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't let the start stop you. Like that thing, just start.
Yeah.
And then everything else. So for me, it's a big thing. Like, it gets easier. There's days that you don't want to work out or exercise, right? But those are the days that make it count. And that's where you need to like anchor yourself on the discipline part of your life. You need to start stacking habits every day to push yourself in times you don't feel like doing things. And that creates the momentum, the compound effect to massive success.
Well, how do you get people to just start? Sometimes, I see sometimes people are on the fence about, maybe they want to start losing weight.
Yeah.
Let's say they make the decision.
Yeah.
Some people just never seem to get to that starting point.
I think
one decision away. Yeah.
Yeah, I say it's one decision, but I think the biggest thing is people often, you have to get to the root of, well, why do you want to lose the weight? What is it about? And why is that important to you? What is your why? Because if your why is just about yourself at a certain point in life, we all will hit something that's a lot tougher than us, and we're not going to do it, or we're going to quit because we don't have that driving force for why we do what we do. Like being a dad of 3 daughters, my daughters deserve the best of me, not what's left of me. So for me, like my health, it's non-negotiable. Exercising is non-negotiable. So when I have that driving force, that why, that's what drives me. So when like I help people or coach people or speak to people and they have goals and they don't know where to start, I'm like, well, why do you have that goal? Is it bigger than yourself? Because if it's not, you're not going to start. You have to have that sense of purpose, and kind of not many people really think about their why. Most people just go through the motions of life. They accept their life what it is, head down, shoulders down, and instead of leading their life to where they want to go, which I know Joe will talk to you about, intentional living, like the intentionality every single day. I'm in the middle of recording the audiobook for this book. Literally, I just finished doing it. I come on here. I'm going to go back. Like I'm
Fun.
doing, it's fun, but it's like, it takes a long time. It's tedious work. It's the grind, right? But I know, like, for me, this book I know can help other people. It's not about me. I know people that have said to me already, David, I need something to listen to in the car. I'm not a reader. You know what? That's why I'm doing it, because I want to help people reach their fullest potential. So if that means being in a hot room and recording and starting over, it's not about me. It's about others. Because except for one tiny speck on this earth, the world is made up of people other than you and I.
It's true. This
You
is
know?
true.
It is true.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about my weight loss journey, I never was successful until I had a why. And you're
Yeah.
totally
Wow.
correct, because became about health. It wasn't about weight loss.
Right.
That was really a side effect, because it was about improving health and
Yes.
my why. And
Yes.
if you have your why, you're absolutely right.
I
And things
love that.
fall
And
into
I love
place.
that, Richard, because I tell people, yes, the physical results of being strong and fit is one thing, but forget that. The byproduct from my wife and I, when we started getting more healthy and fit and getting in great shape, even now, is we were less stressed. We had more energy, right? We were more efficient in our time. We were better to each other. We weren't snippy because we felt better. Like I say, like it carries over to all areas of your life when you
It
take care of
does.
your
It really
physical health,
does. Well,
right?
health is wealth. Health
Health is wealth,
is a
right?
big part of wealth. Yeah, you can't fake a healthy body. It's just not something you
No,
can buy. There's nothing you can
no,
do. There's no amount of money. You just have to get it yourself. Yeah.
totally. And it's
Yeah,
the most level playing field. Like
it
seeing
really
somebody, I
is.
like to say me, I'm 48, seeing another man in their late 40s or 50s that's healthy and fit, immediately I have respect because you could see the
Yeah.
way they carry themselves, you know? So they have discipline, they take ownership of their life, you know, they
Right.
have perseverance and grit. So exercise and take care of your body 100%, you know, is wealth of health, but it will
It
carry
is.
over to your
Yeah.
career, to your success, to
It
all
does.
areas
It
because you
does.
developed those principles of life. I like to say in one of the chapters in my book, you got to make decisions on principles, not emotions. Principles over emotions, right?
Yeah, I
Our
saw that
emotion,
chapter. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like our emotions. It's, you know, the days I don't feel like doing it. I'm tired. Well, at the end of
Yeah.
our emotions is nothing, but at the end of every principle is a promise. We know the principle of
Yeah.
discipline will lead to success. We know when you exercise a proven principle, it will positively impact your life. So on
That's
the days
true.
you don't feel like doing it, you have to anchor your decisions on principles, not on your emotions.
Well, that's
And
when the
then
habits kick in. You know, if you have a
Yes.
certain
yeah,
habit that you do and you just don't even give yourself a choice about it, you're just like, this is what we're doing. And
Right.
then, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like Mel
Absolutely.
Robbins says that too. She says you got to just do it. Just
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. The 5 second rule.
the
Yes.
thing is, there's
Yes.
always excuses too. I mean, people
Oh
will
yeah.
come up with
There's a reason
excuses for
not to do
everything.
everything. Yeah.
Those just don't go away. But
No. I like to say excuses are well planned lies. You know, I heard that once before. And
So
it's
yeah,
and it's a
I like
true,
that.
it's true. And nobody's perfect. I tell people and I share in the book to give yourself some grace. You know, I struggle too. We all struggle. We all have fears. But like I said in the beginning, it takes one word to face that fear. Just have a little bit of courage. We're not trying to be perfect. Just try to be better today than you were yesterday. Don't compare yourself to other people. And certainly don't compare, which I hit on, to the highlight reel you see on social media,
Oh
because
yeah.
people are
Yeah.
not willing to share their vulnerabilities and struggles.
Well, if they
And
just pan out from where they're taking that video, you can see the unwashed dishes in the sink and the laundry
right,
that's not folded and the vacuuming that needs to be done. It's all right there. But
so
that one
true.
little area has been prepared carefully for social media curation, you know? So,
you
Totally.
know, I always tell clients that don't look at the end result. Like, if somebody has to lose a lot of weight, don't
Yeah,
think about that large number. Think
yeah,
about, in increments.
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's kind of how it came to be, the one decision, and it's a simple thing to follow every day.
Yeah, I love it. I love that one decision. It's really a good thing. It's just one decision away from a totally different life.
Totally different life. And it doesn't mean, like, for me, just because the one decision then was to improve my marriage doesn't mean that you're only working on improving your marriage. That one decision to improve my marriage led to a 7-figure business, led to a speaking, led to a, two books. So like you can't get caught up. Like
It
maybe
connects.
the one decision is my health that you're feeling it, but wait, my finances are out of whack. Don't worry about that. That's the pressing thing you need to address now, and then everything else will come together.
Right.
So I think it's not like you pick a lane and you have to say, all right, the one decision is just my career. No, what's the pressing thing you need to do right now in your life? Because everything's in synergy, and if one thing's off, it's all going to be affected. So deal with the most important thing, and then everything else will fall into place. I'm a big believer in that.
So
Yeah.
true. It's very
And
true.
then some people have multiple decisions, I'm sure, in a
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, and it could just be you have important things you need to address. Maybe your health is out of order, maybe your finances are out of order, maybe it's many things. I mean, but I'm a big believer. I like to say I like to reverse engineer my goals. So whatever it is, it's like, all right, this is what I want to reach. Well, what do I need to do each month, each week, each day to make it happen? Right. So in the simplest example, like I want to get my audiobook out into my editor's hands to get everything done, by the end of this week. Well, all right, David, that's going to reverse backwards. You're going to have to put in a lot of hours this week to get it done. And that's the pressing thing right now. So you have to have a plan. You have to have goals. You just can't wake up and kind of go through the motions of life and meander your way around, because that's what most people do, right? Most people wake
Yeah.
up and this is the first thing they go to.
Yep.
And I like to
Yep.
say, this is your inbox is somebody else's agenda.
That's right. That's
And right. So for me, like my first 2 hours in my morning is like sacred. Like it is and it starts the night before. Like I shut my notifications off the night before. It's set up that way. So I don't hear dings and texts. And when I wake up in the morning, I don't have
I do
100
the same.
banners.
Yeah.
You do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see it. It's a distraction. And then in the morning, I spend my first hour working on gratitude, and I do prayer, and I read my personal development. And then from there, I do my hour exercise, and then I'm ready for the day. So like I'm very like have a ritual in my morning routine, so that I'm set up for success. You have to be intentional. You really have to be intentional.
Yeah. I also want to talk about, because I can't imagine how big of a decision that was when you left the police.
Oh,
Yeah.
I talked about that in the
Yeah.
in the book because I mean, Richard, I had no ill will. I had an amazing career at the state police. But at the same time, I was on the verge of probably getting promoted to the rank of major, which was the next rank above.
Yep.
But I just felt like, and I'll share, like I felt at that point my time was done there. I was a detective for many years. I was in homicide cases. I overlooked undercover units. I was a big boss as a captain running the entire county for the state police. We handled 400,000 to 500,000 911 calls a year. It was a busy place. I was a first responder. My best friend was shot and killed in the line of duty as a state trooper, and that plays into my line. I say is life doesn't always fire a warning shot, and for me, so often when it comes to your goals and dreams, we wait till we have more time or till we're less busy or next week.
Yeah.
And I like to say we may not be here tomorrow. So for me, losing my best friend like was eye-opening, which also was part of my why of all the things that I went through. But when it came to retiring, like I just said, you know what? Like I don't need to yes, I may get promoted and that's great. And I'll tell you that most people in the state police did not support me. But nobody supported me when I did the network marketing, and nobody supported me when I wanted to ultimately say I wanted to retire. I mean, some did, but I had to follow my gut. Your gut is never wrong, your intuition. And I felt that there was a new chapter of my life. And if it wasn't for me following my heart and making that one decision, and as I said earlier, fueled my faith and starved those fears, I wouldn't be here today doing something that I absolutely love doing, which is speaking, inspiring, and writing this second book. So it was not easy. But let me tell you, the bigger the goal, the bigger the sacrifice. The bigger the dream, the bigger the sacrifice. Leaving the state police was not easy. But the thing is this, I've learned struggle is less painful than regret. And I did not want to look back 10, 15, 20 years from now and say, I wish I tried
What
to
if?
be.
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what scares me. That's what haunts me is looking back at my life and saying, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. And that's why, I ended up retiring, but I never looked back. Amazing department, amazing agency, had amazing career. But for me, it was my time to move on.
How long were you there?
22 years.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Yes. So
22 years. So I could have retired at 20. I thought I'd be there to the max out of 32 years. So I did two more years, but when I knew it was time, and like one of the big reasons that got me past is that when I started weighing, what was holding me back, what was the fear at the time of holding me back from retiring? And the biggest fear I had was leaving the people, leaving the comrades, the ladies and the
that's the
men,
tough thing.
and that bond. But I realized at that moment, I'll never forget, I was driving to work in my state police unmarked car in uniform. And I said, David, you know what? Whether you leave now or I stayed for 32 years, you eventually all have to leave the people. And once I realized it was inevitable that I would have to, do that part, and I realized that was the only thing holding me back, that's when I knew it was time to go, because the list of all the reasons of things I wanted to do with speaking and follow this gift far outweighed the fear of just people saying you're crazy, you're going to get promoted, or the fear of you have to leave the people, because I knew I would have to face that no matter what.
this is so true.
Yeah.
This is so
Was it
true.
a long struggle for you, you think, after you left, until you got to where you are now? Or
Was it? I'm sorry, say that
It's
again.
only been
Richard.
it's only been like 4
Was
years,
it-
right?
What
was that?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, was it how long was the struggle after you left the police force? I mean, did you
Still
find
today,
Yeah.
I still struggle. Why? Because I am a people person. I am a social creature. I never realized the mornings of meeting with my lieutenants and sergeants and just having coffee and kind of going over the lay of what's going on in the county, like how much I miss that bond. And
Yeah.
that's why, like, for me, there's nothing like being part of almost like a fraternity sorority with a group of men and women that will put their life
Sure.
on the line for you. And that I miss every single day. But
It's like
that's
being
why,
in the
like,
military. Yeah.
what'd you say?
It's like being in the military. It's
It
the same kind of
is.
bond.
It
Yeah.
is, and I miss it. But so that's why I make a point, like I'm always like meeting Joe or meeting Robert, and continuing to, go out, even if it's just to have coffee to meet people. And I'll say though, like I keep my circle very small. Like with where I am now, like I will not take criticism from somebody that hasn't achieved what I'm going for.
Exactly.
I've learned to have
It's
haters
really
and
important.
critics, right?
Mhm.
There's people that will, you're writing a book, David. You can't write. Why are you doing that? You're going to be a speaker. You're a cop, David. Like all of these things, right? So
Yeah, you
I'm
can't
very
listen to that.
guarded to
Yeah.
my inner circle. So
Yeah.
somebody like Robert, who's a best-selling author, he can be in my circle. Joe, who's one of the top 100 ultra athletes in the world, just finishing Badwater, like these are the people that I will allow in my inner circle. And it's become a lot smaller, but that's okay, because I want engines in my life, not anchors, people that bring me up, not bring me down. So
you need positivity.
I need positivity. So I still will see my state police people and hanging out with them, but I'm not certain, and I have nothing to say bad about them. They're great, amazing people. But now, as I'm growing and trying to hit, like now I'm, getting to another level as I am as a speaker, I'm really guarded with the people that I want to stay close with, because I want it to be people that, will see my vision and have that positivity and are doing amazing things in their life. And so it's a great question.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
How do you deal with failure? Because everybody's going to have failure along the way. Do you just kind of brush it off and
Yeah, failing a lot. That's why. Here's an example for my speaking. I would say to date, in the last 4 years, I probably have sent out close to 7,000 emails of reaching out to people in the conference and who are running conferences and events. And 99% of the people don't answer you. You know what I'm saying? But that 1% answers, and that 1% led to somebody seeing me and speak, and then led to another event, and then this year speaking for Caterpillar, Cat Construction, and ADP Payroll, and Fortune 500 companies. So what I'm getting at is I don't attach emotion to it. And it wasn't easy at first. And that came, I like to say, my Beachbody business, building an international team that I led of 1,400 people and building that business. I failed so much. I had so many people tell me no that I've learned to not attach emotion to it. So when I would invite people to join the business or join and to do P90X or Insanity or buy any of the programs, and they said no, just moved on. I just moved on. I just moved on. I just kept, my why again, and my vision was so big that I've learned. Now, failures still sting, but like when I get a no for a big paying speaking event, it may hurt a lot more than $100 fitness program, failure back
Right.
then. But life prepares you for those things. Like my goals now, the sacrifices I have to make now, and it hasn't been publicly announced, but I'll share with you guys because it will be next week. Like I got picked up by a very high exclusive agency in the speaking world. It's me and 11 other speakers with a big management company, and they cut and sliced and diced. Like, David, your website needs to be fixed here. Your speaker video, we need to update this.
Oh, it's awesome.
All of those things.
Yeah.
So,
But it's
right,
so nice because you have somebody that's bigger than you, something because of you you're making the decision to be a speaker. Now the universe is allowing room for you at that table.
Exactly.
And they're putting you with all the things that you need in order to make that happen. That is amazing. I love that so much.
No, thank you so much. And
Yeah.
then to be at their level, I had to feel like a month and a half ago or 2 months when I signed with them, they're like, before we launch you publicly, these are the things we need to fix. And it hurt,
Oh.
Richard. Like they're
Yeah.
like, your speaker
Yeah,
video from
personally.
4 years ago, they're like, it's good. It's not at this level. You need to completely redo it. Your website, yes, it's great. It's not this level. Like they were slight. But you know what? It's like, they say a diamond in its original form is like a piece of coal, right? But through extreme cutting, grinding, pressure, and heat, you get the unbreakable diamond. So for me, as I climb this ladder and trying to reach higher goals, well, I'm going to have bigger failures, bigger sacrifices, harsher criticism, but that's part of the process, right?
See, those are the people that are allowed to criticize you because they're doing better than you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you can learn from them. You can learn from them
Exactly.
and grow and change. And that's what makes it so amazing. Yeah.
Exactly. But too many people
Yeah.
listen to those that have never done what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if you're on TikTok, but that's really full of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just went on TikTok, I don't know, 6 months ago. My kids are like, Dad, what are you doing? My daughters. But for me, there's a term like omnipresence in my world. So I'm trying to be on all platforms with me speaking and this book and everything.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. It's a great platform, but those critics are,
forget it.
harsh from behind their hidden keyboard.
Keyboard warriors. Keyboard warriors.
Yes,
Exactly. Exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, that's not the people you listen to. I just,
No.
I always just put my little blurb on the bottom and just, you want help? This is where you get it.
Yep.
Next.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's very
That's all
true.
you can do.
It's very true. You have to be willing to go through a growth journey. And like I say, the David Atkins I am today is not the same I was 10, 15 years ago. It's been hundreds of books that I've read, reading books, listening to podcasts, listening to YouTube motivational videos, like really growing as a person.
Yeah. You evolve.
It's made a big difference.
Yeah. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
So are you doing a lot of tours with this book launch? Are you going all across the country now?
So the summer is usually quiet in conference season. There's still stuff going on, but I had a very busy spring up until summer. And then come September, I'm super busy, September, October. But it wasn't like I published the book and now I'm on this tour to do the book. It's kind of like in the speaking world, it's when you start getting momentum or success as a speaker, the next thing is to write a book about what you're speaking about. That was my first book. And then I just continued speaking, and then the one decision away philosophy came to be. And that's when I'm like, I need to write my next book about this, which my keynote title now is One Decision Away, Not No Excuses. So it's just a matter of, so like this book or my keynote One Decision Away is my main theme. It was for the past year, and it will continue this upcoming year. And who knows where life takes me. I just take it one decision at a time. Like if people told me when I was a new trooper, David, in 25, 26 years, you're going to be 2 published books, a best-selling author, speaker, I'd be like, you're crazy. I'm going to be a trooper to my 60s, and that's the way it's going to be, right? But to my one decision, I've always been about what can I do next to be better? Like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And I just do that and let life reveal to me what will come next.
Yeah, I think people.
My sister talks about she owns a small dog grooming shop, and she says, if you're ever gonna advance to the next level, the person who put up Taco Bell, he probably makes a mean taco, but if he
Yeah.
sat in there and did taco, 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 there wouldn't be a Taco Bell. You know what I'm talking
Exactly.
about? Somebody
Yeah.
else can do that work for him, and he can
Right.
promote it and make it bigger and better. And that's exactly what's going on here.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. That's
Mhm.
exactly it. What were you saying, Richard? You were about to say something?
It went out of my head now. Sorry.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Richard.
No,
No.
that's all right. Yeah, but really, I did see so much of myself in this book just because of
Yeah. It's
my own
beautiful.
journey, and that's why I appreciate the message, and I do hope more of our audience will get the message as well, because I think so many people are held back,
Mm,
especially by excuses, and
It's
mm.
fear. It's
yeah,
fear.
It's fear.
yeah,
You
Fear of
know?
failure, fear of saying something new. It's a, if you know what's coming next, it's just going to be the same day like you did yesterday. But if you do
Hmm.
something different, then you'll get a different result. And that's both good and bad if you're scared.
No, absolutely. I
Um,
think too many people, number one is we allow the circumstances of our life to control us, right? We blame the outside world, the economy, the pandemic, politics. And I realize, like, listen, you can't control that. But what
mhm,
you can control is how you react, right?
mhm.
Your attitude is a
Like that.
choice, your energy is a choice, how you show up every day is a choice. And if you want the next 30 days to look different than the last 30, then the thing that needs to change is you. So like once you take ownership, and I think sometimes people just need like a wake up, like jarring moment. And for me, like when I started building my business, for me, I'll never forget, like I hit a plateau and my mentor was like, David, what are you reading to help grow yourself? Like what personal development book? And I was against it for 2 years. I'm like, I don't need that stuff. Like I'm a trooper, I'm fine. And he goes, listen, like you need to start growing the way you think in your mind. And once I accepted that, and the first book that I ever read was The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. I read that and I was like, phew, like it was eye opening to me. And I realized that's the
Mhm.
secret. I think so often people are waiting to be rescued, waiting to be saved, but sometimes you need to be your own hero sometimes. You need
You
to
can
be the
only be
one to
your own
rescue
hero.
yourself. Yeah,
Yeah, you can only be your own hero. Nobody can save
exactly.
you. Nobody can care
Exactly.
about you more than you care about yourself. If you don't care about yourself, nobody's coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. You have to be willing
Mhm.
to go through a growth journey, and people do have fear, but you have to eventually take ownership. You have to take ownership of your life. And then once you do, and you stop giving ownership and power over somebody else, it's the most freeing feeling in the world. Really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a powerful message.
It is a
Yeah.
very powerful message.
Yeah.
I did have one other question too,
Yeah.
but then we can discuss where people can buy the book. But just because I know you were part of the New York State Police,
Yeah.
did you happen to know Eric Adams? He was a friend of mine years ago when
Mayor Eric Adams,
yeah, I'm just curious
the
if you ever met him.
the current mayor.
Yeah,
No,
because
no. So,
him and
go ahead.
I met a few years ago at a conference because he had a similar health journey.
Oh wow, no, no. So I don't know him. I mean, when I was a
I was just
lieutenant,
curious. Yeah,
no, it's
yeah,
all good. When I was a lieutenant, all of my undercover units were in New York City, but because I wasn't part of the New York City Police Department per se, I was with the
right.
state police. I didn't run into him, but I know his prior law enforcement background, and and
Mhm.
him in New York now as the mayor and dealing with the tragedy yesterday. So,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah,
didn't, yeah, I didn't know him firsthand. No,
right, right. And yeah, I got to commend you too for helping out in 9/11. I still
thank you.
remember that like yesterday. It
Yeah, we all
was
Seems
such a
like
tragedy.
yesterday.
Yeah,
It seems like yesterday. I was down there weeks and weeks on end with no days off, but I was yeah, it was a crazy part of our lives for
and
everybody.
that was the toughest part of your job. I mean,
Mm,
ever. I can't imagine
yeah,
anything on that
yeah,
scale ever.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's a whole other podcast episode.
Definitely, definitely. But
Definitely.
No,
yeah. Say, I gotta get back to work soon, unfortunately. But I did want to remind our audience about this book because it really is a great read, and I want everybody to check it out. But can you let us know where they can get the book and where they can find
absolutely.
out more information?
So I'm all over social media, TikTok as well, as we just said. But no, my website is David Atkins Speaks, SPEAKS.com. So davidatkinsspeaks.com. That will funnel you to everywhere. My book's on Amazon. You can find it by my name or there. I'm on Instagram, on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook. So you just search One Decision Away, David Atkins, you'll find it. I'm pretty much,
Nice.
as I said, omnipresent, right? So you'll find
That's
me
good.
online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when do you think the audiobook will be
Oh,
available?
that's a good question. I am hoping in about 2 weeks. So
All
I'm
Nice.
right.
halfway. I'm
Wow.
halfway done, Richard. My goal is to get it done by the end of this week, and then I have a sounding engineer said, David, I'll have it back to you fixing anything in 3 days. So that's next week, and then from there
Nice.
it should be get ready. My editor and designing team are going to handle uploading it to Amazon to Audible. So I'm hoping within 2 weeks. I'm in the hustle. It's the one decision right now is get
Oh,
it done.
knowing you, you'll get there.
So as soon as I finish with you guys, it's back in the
Back
home
to the grind.
studio.
Yeah.
I just finished chapter 10, so I'm about
Nice.
making the decision,
Like
barreling
20,
through.
21 chapters, 21 or
I
22.
think it's like 20. Now you're asking, I think it's 24.
Oh,
You
yeah, there you
know,
go. Okay, I knew it was
And I-
over 20. Yeah.
it's and I had you have the forward in the introduction, the forward that was with Robert. But
Yep.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. You're making me double check my own book. 20, yeah, it's 24. So I'm almost halfway, but the goal
Good.
hopefully within about 2 weeks, mid-August, I guess, probably by about
Nice.
mid-August.
Nice.
All
Yeah,
right.
we love to have you on again. And
Thank you.
just a side note, I work for a community college. They would love to have somebody like you come. I'm sure you visited many colleges as well.
I mean, all so many different groups of people. So,
Yeah.
they say as a speaker, like pick a lane. Where does your message? Who do you want to speak to? And I actually been quite surprised that I've had Department of Transportation from law enforcement to engineering companies to insurance to real estate because just my message has applied to all the industries,
Oh,
human
it could apply to
resources.
so many things. Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
applies to so many things, but I would love the opportunity. DavidAtkinsSpeaks.com. They can get in touch with me there, and that would be
Definitely.
great. That would be great.
I'll
Great.
spread the
That's
word.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
when you write another book too, just
Yeah.
reach
I'll see. I have to let it has to come to me. I'm good
Finish
right
this
now.
week.
This has been so much work. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate the opportunity and
Thank you for coming on.
no, of course,
Yeah,
and
thanks
thank you
so
so
much. I
much.
really
And
appreciate it.
congrats on your success and your weight loss journey and everything that you guys do. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And thanks to Robert for introducing us as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Robert.